Hello everybody, this is Kill Me Horde. Welcome back to Shadows over Loathing. We're going to the Black House, guys. We're going. Slide the key into the lock and turn both key and lock suddenly disintegrate, leaving the gate unsecured. You're too late. What? Ernest? It's Uncle Murray. Uncle Murray, are you okay? Surprisingly fine, kiddo. Not sure why they didn't just murder me, but I'm glad they didn't. Me too. We gotta stop the president from doing whatever her crazy plan is. Darn right we do. But wait a minute, what's that? What's what? You got something behind your ear. Pulls out 5 meat. Jeez. Don't ever change, Uncle Murray. What happened to you? I sold him a pen that could only write obscenities. Turned out with a little coaxing, you can also get it to write its real owner's current address, which was here. I wrote that letter to you before coming to stake out the place. They caught me while I was snooping around. Her name's Margaret something. 11 years ago, her barn exploded. That's where all the artifacts came from, I think. They were stuffed in... That was in the barn at the time. No kidding. 5 years later, she's city comptroller, and I guess now she's shadow president, whatever that is. What's she planning? She built some kind of crazy machine. How do we stop her? Destroy the 3 towers. There's one at the telephone facility, I know that. Hello? Oh, weird. Hey, is that Ernest? This is Rufus. Rufus, how'd you know I was here? Damn it, just a coincidence. My brother hunting device calculated that that's the best spot to open a wormhole to his location. Since there's a payphone there, I figured I'd call ahead to check. Wormhole? I thought it was a communications device. Well, it turns out the Pearl is crazy powerful, and wormholes are a form of communication according to Quant. There's a crazy shadow pillar thing here. I could use some help dealing with it. That explains some of these readings. Hang on, I'll be right there. Good luck, Rufus. Look at that, Rufus did that for me. One time to 2 to go. At least now we know what we're dealing with. I guess the other one was probably at the PDQ central office. Yes, indeed. Hello? Ah, Ernest, Don Toblerone vocalizing. I have become attenuated to the fact that you are in necessity of some assistation. Assistination. How'd you know where I was? You're one of the family now. If you know something, we know something. Sure hope that isn't how it works, but as it happens, I really could use some help here. I will send assistance immediatement, and their arrival will be forthwith. Great, thanks. Yeah, we got the mob. They just shot the shit out of it. Tower number 2 gone. Where's the last one? I believe it was to the north. What the fuck is that? I don't like how that thing looks. Pull up. Let's get rid of that hexagon. Okay, I can't get rid of these guys in one go, but I can lower their health enough that my buddies could kill them. Yeah, I don't want this thing doing anything to me. Ow. Suck whatever you're gonna suck, Sophie. Tricky tin pan. Then shiv the shit out of this guy. One. Who says there's no cure for cancer? I think it's at Vista Hall, right? Yes, it was. Hello? Ernest, this is Johnny, the Hobo King. My secret Hobo King powers alerted me that you might be in need. How'd you know what number to call? I just picked up my phone and connected me to you. Is that not how phones work? Well, anyways, yes, I do need some help. There's a big weird pillar thing here that needs to be destroyed. No problem. I'll send a crew of hobos immediately. Thanks. What are they gonna do? Just come up and beat the fuck out of it. Alright, that's the last one. Come on, we gotta get back to the Black House and put a stop to whatever the President's plan is, which might be world domination or world destruction, or maybe both. Honestly, with as much as I was able to learn before they caught me, that's a real glaring gap in my knowledge. More Shadow Maniacs. Look at him freaking the shit out. Bro's just vibing, he's dancing, and I had to kill him. Government. Oh, I can go into the house now. Rush into the foyer of the Black House. Murray leads you up to a corridor and down a flight of stairs to a huge basement lab. The room was dominated by massive, writhing, tearing space, seemingly confined to an umbratanium frame. The President is typing furiously at a computer console nearby, which turns around momentarily when you enter. She glares at you, practically hissing. I knew I shouldn't have trusted that idiot Poindexter to deal with you. I noticed the shadow flow has dropped back to ambient levels. I assume that was your doing. Yeah, I busted your weird pillars, and now I'm busting you. Oh. Oh, no. I'd be real upset if you weren't too late. Oh, nuts. Yeah, nuts to you. The portal's open, and after I make these last few calibrations, the Emperor of all Shadows will be summoned to this plane to kneel before me. I will rule this universe, not as the President of Shadows, but the Empress. Wow, that's a much bigger goal than I was expecting. Yeah, well, go big or go home, right? Anyway, don't try to stop me. Without my attention at this console to keep the reaction steady, this whole thing could implode and turn the whole tri-state area into a smoking crater. Jeez, okay, well, mind if I have a look around? Sure, whatever. Just don't pester me unless you want everyone who ever heard of you to die. It's that Umbratanium bomb. I cobbled it together from parts I found lying around while you were distracting the President. Good job. Oh, no problem. Yeah, yeah, that was intentional. But what's your plan exactly? From what she said, it sounded pretty bad to mess with this stuff. Just trying to summon something, right? I figure by applying enough pressure at just the right time, we can reverse the flow and make it an out portal instead of an in portal. I get it. So we'll suck her out into space and no more problem? Well, not exactly, or rather, yes, but that's not the end of it. We also have to take care of whatever's waiting on the other side of that portal. Oh. You're saying I have to go through and fight it, aren't you? I don't know if it'll be a literal fight or what, but yeah, that's the long and short of it, kiddo. This is the end game, and there's no coming back from this. Are you ready? Well, actually, let me be more explicit. This is literally the end game. Once I set off this bomb and you go through that portal, you can't come back, and the game ends one way or another. But nothing gets saved after you go, so you can reload back to here and keep playing afterwards. I don't really understand what you mean by that. That's okay, kiddo. I wasn't really talking to you. Let me take care of something first. Okay, just go poke the president, because that'd be pretty funny. Potions. Alright, Murray, I'm ready. Let's do it. Okay, it was good seeing you again, kiddo. I think I got this bomb wired so I can toss it and set it off from here by overloading this other woozit, which hopefully won't end up getting me killed, but whatever happens, you gotta jump through right away. I don't know how much time you'll have. Jeez, okay, be careful. You too, kiddo. Ready? Yeah. Yeet. No! Ah! Jump hole, kill God! You and Alphonse and the president enter machines, and a sizable chunk of the floor appear in the middle of the pale void, lit by the just-arrived light of stars that burned out uncountable eons ago. Ah, no, what did you do? Throw a little monkey wrench into your plans. Don't try to act cool about this. You don't have the slightest idea what kind of power you're messing with. Oh yeah? Like what? Welcome, playthings. Look over to the right where you see a hovering swarm of giant mouths and eyes. You get the feeling that this is your brain's best attempt to render what you're actually seeing in a way that won't simply annihilate your mind. In particular, that. Oh. Was this whole deal just a giant monkey's paw? Like, did I achieve ultimate power but also got cursed to be constantly surrounded by morons? Hey, the portal frame still looks intact. Maybe I can reopen it and fix this. Oh, you can get us back? I can get me back and then continue with my plan to summon the Emperor to our universe and under controllable conditions as intended. Yes. What if I don't want you to do that? Do I look like someone who gives a hot crap what you want? Go away. Go die in the void. I'm gonna try to talk to her. Any chance I can get you to give up on your plan to enslave humanity and the universe in general? Johnson, Christ, if I had brought a gun with me, you would be so dead right now. What can't we talk about? No, we can't. But I will strangle you with my bare hands first. Ah, damn, I missed some optional stuff, apparently. Hello! Be not afraid. Hi, welcome to my realm. What are you? I am what the shadow is the shadow of. Nice job if you can get it. It's a living. A smooth target. Hey, you seem like a pretty hip cat. Ridiculous. Listen, Buster, you better ha ha ha. Look, let's just discuss. Your words have no power here. Yeah. Ah, ha, ha, fight me? Very well. I will give you one chance, all or nothing. Let's draw your weapon. You hear someone behind you. Hi, hello. Gabby is here to give the fight. I thought you might could use a little help, bud. Come on, Buck. Let's send this warp back to whatever hole it crawled out of. It will be my pleasure to Why am I fighting the Shadow President and the Shadow Bitch? Okay, so what do? A lot of damage. A lot of damage. Bite whoever has the lowest HP. And she's just kind of in the background. Doing whatever right now. Alright. Let off the sacks. Honk 'em. I have 3 AP. I think I can kill one of the Shadowcaster's eyes by tympaning it, so. Yep. Killed one of the eyes. Now I have items I can use. I want to set her on fire with my moonshine jar. Set this on immune to being on fire. Launch the Cola Wars rocket. I mean, it's the final fight. I might as well use what I've got, right, guys? I hurl a loose beam fist. Basically, I'm just trying to do a lot of damage to that so I can do this. That was all my turn. That wasn't even their turn. Slap him. Why is the mouth right here? Yeah, poison the mouth. It's mean to poison anyway, but you know, whatever. The eyes are gone. Sucker's dead. Yay! We beat the shadow. The TV. Oh, fuck, I pressed a button. Nice work. After the metaphorical smoke cleared, you found yourself stuck in the weird extra-dimensional space where the final showdown happened. You waited, and waited, and waited. Murray's bomb blasted him past the borders of reality. He drifted outside of the world for a span of time that might have been 5 minutes or 5,000 years. The only way to be sure is to not press a key for 5,000 years, then you'll know it was that long. A few weeks later, Jessica accidentally activated the failsafe interdimensional homing teleporter Murray had left in one of his desk drawers. She was looking for a pen. You and Murray were wrenched through the ether and unceremoniously dumped on the floor of the antique store. After spending a reasonable amount of time patting one another on the back, you started searching for the next eldritch horror on Murray's big list of cosmic threats. The world is always under existential threat if you know where to look. And Murray always knows where to look. Thanks to your mob connections, Murray has a lot more meat at his disposal than he's accustomed to. That should make the next old god easier to deal with. Bingus did a brisk trade until the end of Prohibition, at which point it did an even brisker one. Opie decided to leave the hobo's life behind and just play the oboe full-time. When they started televising underground bare-knuckle boxing, Gabby got really excited and joined the league. Her combat style was a mixture of different martial arts that came to be known as super weird fighting. Molly went on to become the most notorious bank robber of her era. She was last seen somewhere in Bolivia. After spending a few years catching up on the latest scientific developments, Professor Adams rebronzed himself. After your adventures were over, Alphonse returned to his terrible family in the swamp. Thanks to your tireless crime fighting, the streets of Ocean City have never been safer. King Johnny got the camp loaded into the ocean, with Samuel and Agamemnon doing most of the heavy lifting. With the wind at their backs, they set sail for distant shores. Thanks to Ovid and Croesus, the expedition was comfortable and well-funded. It got a bit boring at times, but Dusty brought a deck of cards. Whenever anybody got scratched up or seasick, Doc was there to provide some medical attention. The nights were cold, but between Beatrice's wool and Calendula's moonshine, everybody kept pretty cozy. They ate creamed fish, thanks to Walter and Creamy Steve. Cornelius and Beanie provided gorm bread and beans. Mossman provided fine herbs and exotic spices. After a long, difficult journey, they arrived at the land they had promised to themselves. They founded a new nation, a nation of hobos, by hobos, for hobos, with liberty and justice for hobos. Marvin went on to set the world record for mailbox sitting. He held the record for nearly a week. He has recently become interested in flagpoles. Bishop's inspection went swimmingly, and the vicar of St. Polycarp's was soon promoted to vice pope. That whole grisly murder business behind her, Miss Brewster went on to win the Boarding House of the Decade Award from the International Salesman League. Crystal's store was moderately successful, but she was confident that in about 40 years business would boom. Greta wisely invested all the meat you spent at her store and eventually expanded into a nationwide chain. 70 years from now, the historical village of Sandwich is still a popular tourist attraction. Particularly popular among mixed-up hipsters who get it confused with Sandwich, Brooklyn. Josie Morton went on to discover a newly extremely volatile isotope of hypercrystalline thaumatomorphic diorite. With it, she eventually invented the devastating weapon that brought about the end of the Skeleton Wars. History mostly remembers her for what she said after the weapon's first successful field test. I am become death's death, destroyer of skeletons. Your championship trophy remains the crowning achievement of the SIT food fight team. It's mostly true because they never won another one before the program was canceled. Clem and Jarvis Schlitz evaded capture by adopting the aliases Jarvis James and Clem Bartles, respectively. After Prohibition ended, they had a long and illustrious career in the getting people drunk industry. In 1981, Mudhenge was acquired by the Stonehenge Corporation, renamed Stonehenge Mud, and shut down. In 100 years, you were the only non-nudist to find its center. With your help, Rhonda Ramusen became the first person in history to fly all the way around a swamp. Her fame lasted until nearly a month later when Charles Lindbergh was seen buying a new set of shoelaces. Ham Quarry went bankrupt after the workers fled in the night. Most of them made it back to the city and found new jobs, which could not possibly have been worse than their old jobs. The loss of Tom and Kathy plunged largemouth Bassett sons into a succession crisis. In the chaos, the bastard Reboner returned from exile and made his claim to the throne. Although Tom and Kathy's Judge Wig business never took off domestically, they were knighted in Albion for services to judicial fashion. Paul Leathers used his new tongue to preach nonviolence and counseled many a troubled youth away from a life of big game hunting. To appease his brother, John Leathers agreed to read a book on pacifism. In time, the wreck of the Longfellow was swallowed whole by the swamp. The boat may be long, not as longer than nature's mouth. The kid with glasses spent a week bragging after you proved his theory about big hands. Plant Kid will happily wear Mossman's mustache for the rest of his life. The Chemist Kid is still reeling from the whiff of the smell of the wisp you brought her. The Radio Kid still proudly wears the feather you brought him from Barbara Yargara. The Kid with the wrench still tells stories about the time you captured the Chupa Naranja. The Fly Girl is still grateful for the chest hair you brought from her from Flimberg. Will Hunter moved to the international waters to escape federal prosecution for marble fraud. Marble fraud? What? The Mulross place remained uninhabited until the 1990s when it became a hotbed for swinging sexy singles. With no natural predators to defend their numbers, the McMillican sheep bred out of control. He went on to become the region's primary supplier of both middens and mutton. Despite all your efforts, the maze stayed pretty much exactly the same. Oh, that's what I fucking forgot to finish, was the maze forever. Billy made sure of that. The workers at the Ford compound were able to get the factory machinery back up and running. After months of research and hard work, they were finally able to make a car entirely out of beans. It smelled awful and nobody would buy it, so they ended up abandoning it on the streets of Ocean City. The old ham mill never spun again. Rufus emerged from his portal somewhere deep underground. He didn't know where he was, but he knew he was one step closer to his brother. That was all that mattered. The end. credits of Loathing. Vociferous thanks. Vocal. Beta testers. Development pets. Yeah, we got Patch the dog, Cookie the dog, Loki the cat, Monocle the cat, Moxie the dog, Oscar the cat, Penny the dog, Roxy the cat, Stinko the cat, Whiskey the cat. Central West Loathing. More free browser based game. Alright, but I'm gonna do that just so it's not loud as fuck when I say stuff. Or maybe, just maybe. Was it Drexel? How do I fix the corn maze? That's all I care about right now, the corn maze. Alright, let's see if there is a way to fix it. You know what I haven't done? What I didn't do? I didn't talk to the fucking Colonel again, because she's good. Because, like, she's doing better because of that. That guy's doing better because he's not there. So, he's chilling. There's nothing I can do about this stupid corn. How's morale? And I get gunnery epaulets. Why don't you just leave? Now, is there a way for me to actually... What did I do with that? Well, I can't do it now because I don't have it. So, okay, so the only thing I could possibly have done with the evil corn is make evil corn on the cob with a with the corn holder that I sold at some place. So I'll never find it again. And it's like if I didn't get it, it would have been at this house. And that house is a no house now. So yeah. Well, everybody, thank you all for watching Shadows over Loathing. I shall see you all in the next game, where I don't know what I am possibly going to play. Who knows? It could be anything. Bye-bye.